Number 4, we're considering all of these functions and we're categorizing them based on how many roots they have. So you can use your graphing calculator as a tool here if you want to see what the graphs look like. You can also do this algebraically, knowing that roots means y equals 0, and then you can solve for the number of roots. I'm going to show this graphically, but without using the graphing calculator, so that you can see how it can be done without the calculator. So f of x, we're trying to see how many times this intersects the x-axis. So if I look at this equation, I can tell that the vertex is at -1, -5. So my vertex is here. I can also tell, since the a is negative, that this graph opens down. So I can quickly tell this has 0 x-intercepts. So that would get categorized under this first one. And as far as proof, if you do it algebraically, that would be your proof. Otherwise, you should sketch what the graph looks like to prove that it never intersects the x-axis. G of x has a vertex at 0, -1. And we can see here that the a is a positive one, so this graph opens up. And you can see that it hits the x-axis twice. So this would be under 2 real roots, function g of x, and then a sketch of g of x goes in this box here. And make sure you label it as well. So this was f of x, and this was g of x. H of x has a vertex at 0, 0. So if I'm at 0, 0, 1/8 is a positive a value opening up. The vertex is the same as the x-intercept, and there's only one x-intercept. So that would be under 1 real root. And then lastly, k of x has a vertex at 2, 0. And an a of +1, so this opens up. So this, similar to h of x, also has one x-intercept or root, so that would also go under this category here. And again, remember in these boxes to either sketch the graph or algebraically show the number of roots. We're going to look at number 5 as well. We're circling all the phrases that describe the translation of this graph to this graph. One thing that is helpful to do before you start is determine how the graph has shifted. So knowing the vertex of this graph is at 1, 0 compared to the vertex of this graph being at -6, -3. So let's look at the up, down, left, and right parts here. We can see from 1 to -6, this is in the x direction. So I can see that this is a difference of 7, and it's to the left because it's in the negative direction. So 7 to the left, so I know this is not an option. The y values, 0 transforms to -3, so that's down 3 units, not up. Stretched is a synonym for narrower. So if you take a parabola and you stretch it, it becomes narrower. Compressed is a synonym for wider. So looking at the a values, here I have an a value of 1 compared to here an a value of 4. The larger the a value, the more stretched the graph is. So the translation would be vertically stretched. We also can see that both a values are positive, so both of the graphs are facing upwards, not downwards.